This spring on Oklahoma Gardening, we wanted to bring you a program about rhododendrons. And we are so fortunate in that we have the president of the American Rhododendron Society right here in Oklahoma. I'm talking about Leonard Miller over here in Grove in the northeastern part of the state. Hello, Leonard.
Hi, Steve. Welcome to Lendenwood Gardens.
It's always a pleasure coming here. Congratulations on being selected as the president of the American Rhododendron Society.
Yes, it's about a 5,000 group of people that are interested in the beautiful plants that we have here today we're going to show you.
Okay, well Leonard, I know one question that a lot of people always have is what is the difference between rhododendrons and azaleas like we've got right here?
Well, there's not a whole lot. They all are under the genus Rhododendron, but under this big group of over 900 species are the azaleas. And we have two examples of azaleas right here. The evergreen type, which are sold primarily in the South, very, very popular, very floriferous. And then we have the deciduous varieties that here in Delaware County, we actually have two of the 14 species that occur in the United States.
Right here in Delaware County.
And this particular plant, called Rosy Lights, is the most common sold of all azaleas.
Okay.
It's sold from Minnesota all the way to Florida because it's very adaptable, can take the heat, and actually very showy. As you can see, not many leaves on the plant because it's actually deciduous. And the leaves occur after the flower, which makes the flower much more prominent.
It really stands out there in the springtime. But this one has a little bit of the genetic material from our native plant.
That's correct. Half of this plant is from Prinophyllum, which occurs not only in Grove, Delaware County here, but all the way to Quebec. So it's a very adaptable plant. And this plant, I don't know what the other parent was, but it's a very, very hardy plant, and you can plant them in more exposed areas than you can the evergreen ones. They can take more sun, and they will bloom like this for you each year.
Well, Leonard, I think a lot of people will find it interesting that we even have azaleas native to Oklahoma, and it's even twice as interesting that this most popular cultivar is made up of some of the genetic material from one of our Oklahoma native plants. So what are some of the major differences in these plants, specifically with the flowers?
Yes, let's look at the flowers here, Steve. The azalea has 5 stamens, and usually there's 5 lobes to the flower. Well, there are 5 lobes to the rhododendron flower also, but there are 10 stamens. So we see a lot more of the stamens in the rhododendron flower. So that's one of the ways that you can determine that.
Okay, and in horticulture and botany and plants, there's always exceptions. This azalea has like 6 or 7 stamens. You can see the little male parts here that release the pollen. Where this one would have 5 or 6, the azalea would have 5 or 6. The rhododendrons have how many?
10.
10. Okay. All right. And well, the bloom cluster or the inflorescence is certainly a lot larger, and this usually occurs kind of in a different location on the plant, right?
Yes. With a rhododendron, we'll find it right at the terminal end of last year's growth. So you don't want to prune your rhododendrons or azaleas in the fall because you'll lose the bloom.
Okay, so the time to prune azaleas or rhododendrons would be?
Right after they flower.
Okay. All right. Well, growing azaleas and rhododendrons can be a little bit tough in Oklahoma, especially the further west you go. But if you're going to be growing rhododendrons, you have a few types of rhododendrons that you recommend?
Yes, we are certainly working at finding rhododendrons that are happy in Oklahoma. And so we'll go look at some of those.
Okay. All right, let's take a look.